things that he says, like sarcastic. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, I forgot to print out.
Ask questions like,
I can grab one of those.
really?
If you need
Is
to
it
get
okay?
something, yeah. Okay, happy Wednesday. Memory Bound is back and we are live here, and today is a craft along. And you are welcome to craft along with us. Chris is here and she's going to show us how to make these boxes. And if you know Chris, if you're a Memory Bound regular, you know that looking at her projects and you think, oh gosh, that looks like a lot of work, but she's going to show us how to make it easy because she's so good at that. So good morning, everybody. It's the middle of the week. And hello, Donna. And we got Janice and Laura's here. And we have another Chris. We have two Chris's and we have our Chris too. And our Chris is here. So good morning. Hi, Janet and Susan. Today is a craft along and we're going to be making these boxes. And we're going to start out by telling you, if you want to craft along, what you need to grab, because maybe you didn't know it was a craft along today. So Chris is going to tell us what you need. We'll talk about our weekly special, and we got in the new 49 and Market Katie Pertite collection. So we want to show you those. And so it's going to be a wonderful day. I'm glad you're here.
Yay.
And Cindy finally got over the flu, so
Oh,
I'm
good.
really happy about that. Gail says happy peak of the week.
It is. Oh, it's Dump Wednesday.
It is. It's dump day, but we dumped yesterday. We dumped.
Did you?
We dumped early, or maybe it was the day before. I don't know, but we've already dumped. We've dumped this week.
Done some dumping. All right.
So Chris, your craft. Tell us what we need for the craft
All
along,
right.
so people can be gathering their supplies.
If you want to make both boxes, you want to grab 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11 for the large box.
Okay, so 3 pieces of cardstock, 8.5 by 11.
Correct. And then I believe, if I did it right, you can get by with 1 piece for the small box.
If you did it right.
If I did it right. Yep, we'll find out.
we will find out.
Grab a 5th. It's not going to hurt.
So all you need paper-wise is cardstock.
Correct. Unless you want to decorate it while we're going, you can. But this is just more to show you how to make the box, reinforce the lid, and get that ribbon through it. So that's all you need, along with your trimmer and your scoreboard and something to punch a hole with. I have the Crop-A-Dial, but you can always use any hole punch. You know, when I'm in a pinch, sometimes I get out a cutting board and my ice pick. I have to admit.
Cutting board and your ice pick? Okay.
Yeah, it works. Hey, whatever works. And then you're also going to want a liquid glue.
Okay, so liquid glue.
And a pair of scissors.
Scissors. Well, that's pretty simple. Cardstock. I'm just going to see if I remember everything, Chris.
Okay.
Cardstock, trimmer, scoring tool or scoring board or scoring blade, scissors, liquid glue, and a hole punch.
Yes.
And a ruler.
I have a ruler and a pencil also because I like my hole in the center.
Oh, so we're gonna you can measure.
Yeah, so you can measure and put a little dot. So
Chris, we have eyeball people and we have measuring people.
exactly, and both are fine. Whatever works for you.
So that's coming up. So gather your supplies if you want to make a box with Chris. And like Janet mentioned, it's nice to have a prototype. So, you know, you don't have to necessarily decorate it today, but you would have a prototype and you would be set. And Janet just linked everything that you need for today.
Awesome. Thank you, Janet.
So next what I want to do is show our special of the week. And it's a good one because it's the Tim Holtz Big Frights die set from Sizzix. And it's normally $24.99 and it's $12.99. So that is pretty cool.
I absolutely loved Maggie's boo that she sewed on yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday she showed us what she had made.
Yes.
And the die set comes with the boo and the ink. They're pretty large. They cover like the front of she said a 4x4 coaster or your card, but you also get all those little dies, like the bats and the moon and the skull and the bones.
Yeah,
and
how many pieces is that? Do you know?
It should
12.
tell 12 pieces.
Yeah, 12 pieces.
And you got your spider, so you have everything you need for Halloween. And I really like how they've got the spider kind of hanging off of the boo on the cover. So $12.99, regular $24.99 while supplies last. That's this week's special.
That might be going home along with a bunch of Elizabeth Craft. Or not Elizabeth Craft, but the 49 Market.
Well, let's
Holy
show that.
moly.
So,
Would you like me to show or hold the camera?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
grab the terracotta. So we got 2 collections in from 49 Market, designed by Katie Petit. And she, I guess we'll have to maybe
I can
step
come
back
this way.
there. These are some of her final collections for 49 Market. So you know, don't miss out if you love her designs. This is the terracotta color swatch, and it has, I believe, 5 papers, Chris?
Yes.
5 or 6. So here's paper number 1. Let me zoom in on these
Yes.
flowers.
Aren't those pretty?
Yeah, it's a really unique color. I'm not sure. They're calling it terracotta, so maybe that's the best name for it. I'm going to say I'm not really sure what to.
Well, one of the Dianes would know what color that, or what flowers those are. I do not.
Yeah.
But this is number 2.
Paper number 2.
I like that big flower. You could just put that on a card, or that could be your page. It's gorgeous.
It would be a beautiful page. We have a question about a Memory Decks demo, and we will be doing a Memory Decks demo. We have been inundated with product, and we are scrambling to keep up and get everything out. So that is on our list. There's paper number 3.
I love that pattern.
I like that pattern too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do like
Well,
it.
it almost looks a little mauve-y.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of
Yep.
looks a little more mauve than the brownish.
Yeah, now some of it in here looks more terracotta to me, but definitely it has a mauve tint to it. I agree.
Okay, and Chris is grabbing paper number 4, which is a little bit lighter color. Oh, I love that border.
Yeah, look at that butterfly. That is just, is it Mexico or New Mexico that you go and the monarchs
I don't know.
gather once a year, however, I can't even remember. I shouldn't even brought it up, sorry. But
I know.
if you went there and saw the monarchs.
And there's a question about Katie Petit, and Katie Petit is leaving 49 Market. 49 Market has new designers and new things coming, so don't worry about 49 Market. But this is these are 2 of her final designs. I'm not sure if she might have one more, but these are 2 of her.
Two of the last.
Probably the last color swatch.
Look at those hummingbirds on there.
So that's paper 5, and then
So
if
cute.
you like this, you can get the whole thing in the collection pack. And the color swatches groups have 10 different papers, or you get 5 designs, and you're going to get 2 of each design in the pack.
And we were in such a hurry to get these out. They aren't marked yet, but
Diane,
sure.
Janet's linking the
Awesome.
collection.
Janet,
Then there's a
you're the
6x8
best.
pad, so we're going to show you that here. And Chris, maybe you could just sort of
fan them out.
fan it out or thumb through it. So here you're going to get 3 of each paper.
Well, that's nice. Because sometimes I don't want to cut all my paper. And here's the back of that. So it's just like the large pieces,
But smaller.
but smaller. Yes.
Oh, they say it shows out of stock.
Uh-oh.
Um,
You want me to ring the bell?
I think this says out of stock because we're missing a box. Could you ask Diane if it's possible to post it? Everything is out of stock. Okay, I think what happened, Chris, I'll let you all know what happened was we are missing a box for this order, so I don't think it actually got posted, and I apologize. We don't normally show things that are not in stock, and it is in stock, but the system doesn't know it. So we're working to see what we can do about that. But we're going to go ahead and keep showing it. So here's the 6x8 papers, which, are, like Chris said, are just the smaller versions of the 12x12s.
Yeah. Doesn't that look like a little chandelier?
And Natalie said perfect for a slimline card, and I think she's
Yes.
referring to this. And
Oh,
that's very
goodness,
true.
yeah. That would be gorgeous. And then this is the back, but of course they decorate it so
Yeah,
you can use it. Same with the front sheet. Ooh, that's nice.
That is pretty.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
This color kind of grows on you. I think the more you see it, it just kind of becomes, and it's nice for fall.
Yeah, it is. perfect. Oh, and then the laser cuts. Let me show you the back of that. I don't know if the glare is getting it or not.
If you hold it straight up and down,
Okay.
it doesn't glare. There we go. So that's got 114 pieces. It's 4 sheets of punch outs.
Nice. Look
Very
at those.
cool.
You can see them, some of them a little closer there.
And then here's the rub-ons.
Yep, these will be coming home.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's got words and images and what we call kind of like blotches.
And then,
The ephemera.
and I'm trying to see how many pieces, but 60.
60 pieces
Yep.
of ephemera.
Those are some big pieces
Some
in there
are
too.
big. I know there's quite a variety of sizes, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet just linked the whole terracotta collection, and there's one more piece that I think you guys are going to love.
Look how I don't know, something about this one. Maybe because, you know, when I got married, it was the 70s and my house was mauve or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's see what color,
Inside, they always put enamel dots,
which match
and they
perfectly.
do match perfect.
Yep. That's really
So there's
pretty.
the bag, and Janet did link the whole collection.
Okay.
So we'll see about, if it's not online, we'll get it online later. We were missing a box, but we still are going to go ahead and show it to you. So that was terracotta, color swatch terracotta, designed by Katie Petit for 49 and Market. And now here is another collection from Katie, and it's called Birdsong. And I know a lot of you were very excited to see this. This is the perfect way to show this, Chris, because we're getting both papers, and they fill the screen, so they're
Right, good.
You can see them really well if you're watching the video.
Very pretty.
It's funny because I'm like, well, you need to flip it, Chris, but I guess you don't because you got them both
I
here.
grabbed them both.
And there is another paper. It's called Tweets of Peace.
That's really, it's kind of summery, but I think you could still use it this time of year. I think it's just gorgeous.
It goes either way. And this one is really nice. This is called Midnight Concerts. And Chris, if you flip this one, then I just wanted to show, if you were doing a layout in a 12 by 12 album, and you could just get 2 sheets of this, and it basically does everything it takes care of your layout.
Oh, definitely. I also want to show you something else, though.
Show us something else, Chris.
Okay. If you flip it this way, the butterfly wings match up.
Oh, so there's your background also.
Yep.
Now this is showing out of stock because we are missing a box from this order, so we were not able to actually post our order, but we're seeing if we can get it loaded in stock without the extra box. And I didn't realize that, and I apologize, everybody.
And if you see something, give us a call.
Yeah, you can always call us too. I like these little birds
Yes.
sitting on top of their matching flowers.
Are those some kind of finch, or do we know?
Chris, I'm not a bird.
Not
I
a
don't
bird
know my
person.
birds.
Me either. Oh, where's Janine and Katie when we need them? Our little bird watchers. Hold on. There we go. Look at
And
that.
this one's called Song of Hope.
That's nice too. I wonder if you could.
You could do that.
yeah,
No,
you
you
could.
definitely could.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean do that?
Yeah, I
Yes.
was trying to get it so that it was, but you could definitely flip it over and just have 2 pages like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. They sure think things through.
I don't know how, you guys, I don't know how Katie does this, but I'm glad she does. And we absolutely love it. And this one's called Cheerful Chatter. I like the names of them, Chris.
Me too. And then you could take this one, cut it with your X-Acto knife.
This one?
Yep. And
Then lay it on top.
well, yeah, take your ephemera pieces and lay them on
Oh,
top.
slip 'em
and,
in there,
Yeah,
sure.
slip them in there like you've done before. I think it just gives it dimension.
And this one's called Trilling Moments.
I like the nest. That's really sweet. Thank you. Diane says it is posted now.
Yes. Well, thank you, Katie Petit and 49 and Market. These are just beautiful. And look at the detail on this paper.
Sweet notes.
You know, we had our own line of paper a few years ago for our 20th anniversary, and I don't know how Katie does it. It is not easy coming up with designs and putting them all
Right.
together. So
How
very
many
sweet.
How many she does a year? Can you imagine? I just don't
No, I
imagine.
can't.
This one, of course, has the cut-aparts, but they are in different sizes, which is wonderful. I think there's 6 3x4s and 3 4x6s.
And then you've got your background here that's looks like it's got some gesso on it. Mm-hmm. And here's the cut-aparts. Be happy in the moment. That's enough. I think a lot of us need to remember that.
Yep.
That's a great phrase.
Outer beauty attracts, inner beauty captivates. Oh, look at that one with the birds all over.
That might be my favorite.
Is
I think
it?
that might be my favorite right there. Harmonious Symphony.
I would love a entryway wallpaper with that on there.
Which side, Chris?
With the birds.
With the birds?
Yep.
Hey, wallpaper's back.
Yes,
So maybe
it is.
we have to find out if Katie designs wallpaper.
Ooh, we can hope. And then we are to the solids.
Okay, so there are, I think, are there 5 solids or 6?
5 or
Maybe
6, I don't remember.
Well, here's solids number 1.
That's nice. I love how the back is same color, but just a little almost reversed.
So if you're just joining us, we are showing you the new collections from Katie Petit and 49 and Market, and we showed you terracotta from the Color Swatch line, and this is Birdsong.
This is number 2, those pretty greens that she has in there. Got number 3.5, apparently.
Chris, I want you to know something. Katie's
ma'am.
watching,
Oh, is she?
and she does have a fabric and wallpaper company, and so she needs to work on getting these designs.
Yes.
And then you can do your entryway with Birdsong.
Woo! I just got goosebumps. I'm so excited. I'm going to have trouble picking which one I
And
do,
wallpaper's back.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, we used to have everything wallpapered in our home. And then when we moved, we took it all off because, you know, when you sell your house, you got to have plain walls.
though. Right.
There's
That's
paper
nice.
number 4.
Well,
The
my
other-
bathroom is wallpapered. And it's a huge background flower that's probably 2 feet in diameter. And it's just
Oh,
one that goes
nice.
up the wall. So it's just on the back where the vanity is. But it's just kind of fun to have a little piece of wallpaper.
That is a very unique color on that one.
Yeah, it is. I like it though,
And then
don't
let's
you?
show the solid pack. So if you, I will tell everybody, I'll let you in on a little secret that's not really a secret, but we probably sell more solids, and there we go.
Sorry.
We probably sell more solids than we do the patterns, I think, because just look at this combination of colors.
Well, and then it's easier to use all of the rub-ons and the chipboard pieces for me anyway, if I can just use a solid piece. But it doesn't stop me from buying the
But here we
packs.
go. Here's the pack with all the patterns. So if you need to have every pattern of paper, then here you go. You get them all. And at Memory Bound, we always get the collection packs, but then we always get the individuals because there might be a paper in here like Chris's entryway wallpaper
That's right.
here.
It's going to take a lot, but I
But
might
she might need some extra sheets.
That's right.
So
To
we
match.
always carry both. So if we've got you taken care of.
And then,
Oh yeah, why don't
do you want me to
open
open
up?
that?
Chris
while
is going to
you're-
open up the 6x8 pack, and I'll show you here the page kit. And you guys, we just love these page kits because I realized they're $24.99. They're going to make 4 pages of layers upon layers, and that's like $6 a page. And you can't hardly make that, especially an amazing layout like this with all the different pieces. So we do have the page kits, so don't miss out on that.
Now, this one has 2 sheets of each. The
Okay.
terracotta had 3. This one has 2 because there's more papers.
Yeah. So can you? Yeah, I was gonna say, can you? Chris is gonna do a little flipperoo here.
Yes.
Like it's like dealing cards.
Oh, I should be good at that.
She's gonna deal out the 6x8 packet for us.
Did you get
For
a good enough
birdsong.
look?
Yeah,
I don't
we
want to
got-
go
no,
too
we
fast.
got a look.
That's just adorable. I would love that on the bottom of a card.
There's lots of comments about Katie in here and her wonderful designs. See, I really like this. I think
It's
that's
just-
a
yeah.
really neat paper.
It's sweet, I guess, is what I think
Sweet.
of when I see it. Something about it makes me happy.
We need to, maybe when Katie's passing through town again, we'll have her stop, and it would be interesting just to hear about her inspiration for all of her collections.
This navy is gorgeous. I'm a navy person, and this is just such a deep, rich navy.
Got your pinks, you got your navies, you got your nests, you got your
It's-
birds, you got your butterflies.
Oh, look at that. That's, yep. It's already done.
So some of you are joining us late today, and we are showing the brand new bird song collection designed by Katie Petit for 49 and Market. It arrived a couple days ago.
yesterday,
Couple
the day
days ago.
before. Yep.
We just got it out on the floor yesterday, though. See, I like green. One of our grandsons told me his favorite color is green.
Well, my favorite color is green, which I don't wear many green things because
But you are today, and
Yeah,
I think
I
your
know.
shirt looks really
Oh,
good
thank
with
you.
some of these papers.
my husband once told me green was not my color, so then that makes you not want to
Like,
wear
how
it.
would he know?
Well, yeah, because he also told me he sees 6 colors, so
Okay, so there's another one.
that's nice.
Yeah. A lot of these look like they've had techniques done to them, mixed media, but you don't need to do it because Katie did it for us. And this one's got some newsprint peeking out.
Well, and if you follow her on Facebook or Instagram, she has short little videos where she's doing
Yeah, you
the
should,
mixed media.
You should
and-
definitely look up Katie Petit. She does a lot of little videos of fun little mixed media projects and art, and she makes it look like we could do it, Chris. I think we could.
Well, I'm always very inspired.
Okay, and here is the chipboard. And they're calling it a mix set because you get the words and you get images like flowers and birds and butterflies.
Beautiful.
And Cheryl agrees. She loves the reels, Katie's reels that she does.
Good.
And there's the rub-ons.
I got to show you the front page. They do an inspiration page too, just to kind of give you an idea of what is possible. And
That-
it just, gorgeous.
Yeah, that's really neat. There, I think you see the colors. You can really see the bold colors here.
Yes. Here, I forgot, it's the laser cuts.
And you're going to get 4 sheets, so there's 95 different pieces.
And like Kelly said, you can really see the colors.
Oh, look at the little lace.
Yeah.
The little eyelet lace. Oh, I have not seen that before.
Very cute.
Looks like some new things, too.
Let's go ahead and do another rub-on. This is the Essentials rub-on transfer.
Very,
And you can maybe see the photos a little bigger
yeah,
there.
I think you can see it really well on this side.
Okay.
And then we have another laser cut. So there's 2 rub-ons and 2 laser cuts. This is the wildflower one, so it's more wildflowers,
Flowers,
more
yeah.
flowers.
Very cool. And then there's the washi tape.
So
you
this
can see the words
this
here.
side is the images that pop out, and
Yeah.
then they're a washi tape sticker, and then this side is a full sheet of 6x12 washi tape.
But I love those words.
Oh, and the ephemera, my
Yes,
favorite.
yeah. And there are 120 pieces in there.
All different sizes. I think what's amazing, Chris, I'm seeing a lot of new things I have not seen before, and to come up with new things all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's not easy. Oh, and here, these,
The wishing.
the bubbles and bobbles. I chuckle, but these always sell out first. They're just so handy dandy for this collection or other collections.
Isn't that nice? And then, of course, your extra piece.
Yeah, keep your package.
Keep your packaging.
And then last but not least, we've got the bag.
That is so pretty. I didn't peek to see what color.
I know, it's
And
always
turquoise.
Oh, it's the turquoise.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Yes.
wonderful. So
Very
there's
cool.
your peek at the new 49 and Market Color Swatch Terracotta and the Bird Song designed by Katie Petit for 49 and Market.
And I'm just picking up a little bit, so
So gather
I
your
have table
supplies because we're ready to craft along with Chris today. We are talking all about crafting more in 2024. That has been our mission for the entire year this year. And one of the ways we're doing that is having craft-alongs. And we're trying to, well, we're not trying, we are doing it. So we have different little projects here and there where you can easily grab a few supplies. Sometimes our craft-alongs require that you purchase a kit. Sometimes you just need to get what you've got in your stash, and that's the
Exactly.
case today.
yes, and that's usually me. It's
Well, Chris is that person that makes crazy, amazing things and makes them look easy. So, Chris, remind us again for those just joining us what we should grab if we want to craft along today.
alrighty. You're going to need, for the large box, you're going to need 3 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Or you can use 12 by 12 if that's what you have. I'm just trying to keep you from wasting any pieces.
So either one will
Yep,
work.
exactly. And then for the small box, grab 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11, but I really think you're going to get by with 1.
Okay.
And if you have your pattern paper, great. If not, I'm always
do that
big on
later.
having a template or, something that I can have at home to fold up my directions and put it in so I know where it's at. But that's what we're going to do. And I told Kelly last night I kind of forgot it was a craft along, and I did a bunch of prep work. So I'm going to start over with you guys.
So, Chris, tell us what else we need, like our trimmer.
You're going to need your trimmer, your scoreboard,
Okay.
a liquid glue, a pair of
Scissors.
which I love my little Tim Holtz ones.
Those are the haberdashery ones. They're super duper sharp, and they have a cool case that they come in.
Yes, and we've got 2 different sizes, a 7 or 6 and a 5.
Which ones do you have, Chris? The 7 or
I-
the 6?
mine
I
are
think you
the
have the
6.
So here's the 2 sizes. If you'd like a pair of really sharp, nice scissors, and you kind of like the idea of that tin box, which
Yeah.
Chris's is brown,
Don't
and
know
they updated the cases. He went to gray and
Okay.
black for everything. So we do have those available, and they are, don't leave them out for the kids
No, or the spouses
or the spouse.
yeah, they stay in my craft room. So, and then you're going to need some kind of a hole punch. I have the Crop-A-Dial, but you certainly don't need that. Like I said earlier, when I'm in a pinch, I use a scoreboard or a cutting board and my ice pick, a ruler, and a pencil or a pen, because you're going to be marking on the underside of the box. And
So Chris, I'm so
Poking it,
happy
so-
we're really going to make a box like this.
yeah,
So, hey Becky, can you turn that down a couple degrees, please?
all right. So,
What do you think
Is-
about turning the thermostat down a
you
little,
know,
Chris?
Kelly, I'm always up for turning the thermostat down.
Becky's taking care of it.
Thanks, Becky. I run warm anyway, and then I go to video, and I'm always trying to rush through, which I don't know why. But I
we
do
do because we just think people are ready. People need to get going or whatever.
If they're like me, if it's a day off, I'm mopping my floor or something.
Oh,
so
I don't. If I have company, maybe, but I've got to have company for anything like that.
well, I have a dog, so
That
you
makes
know,
a difference.
Yeah, I don't like paw prints around. All right, so
Okay,
everybody
well,
have
gather
their
your stuff. You can craft along live. You can craft along later, but we're happy you're here. And Chris, where do we start?
Well, we start with me forgetting my
Do
stand.
we need the arm? Do you think I should get the
well,
arm?
maybe.
Okay.
I thought you had it at one time. Doug's going to
gonna
go
get
get
it.
the arm, so that's going to give you guys
So just give a
just
minute.
another second.
We'll give you a minute to gather your stuff, and I'll remind you about the Big Fright special, which isn't frightening or scary at all.
No.
It's $12.99 for the Tim Holtz Big Fright die set, and it's normally $24.99. So it's about half off. Pretty nice deal. That's our deal of the week while supplies last through the week.
I love it.
And we do have, and they're not sold out. We got a lot. Peggy says she has all the time in the world to watch Memory
Okay.
Bound.
Oh, good.
Well, we do have some things to do because this weekend we have a retreat going on here in Ankeny with 130 people coming to town to spend the weekend with us. And
Nice.
we do have some prep work that we need to do for that.
Right.
And we have extended hours. So if you're local and you want to come and shop this weekend, we open an hour early on Friday, and we're open an hour later. And Saturday we open at 8 a.m.
Yep. I'll be here at 7:30
I
to
hope
open
that's,
up.
I hope that's correct. It is 8. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Thanks, Deb.
So we've got extended hours, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just so fun with everyone in
Yeah,
town.
it is.
All right, well, we're going to take a little spin, and I really mean a spin, so hang tight, everybody.
Hang
We're
on.
going to move the camera. I think it's better on a project like this if you're looking down on Chris so you can see everything going the right direction. And so that's what we're doing right now.
And Chris is going to try her darndest to remember not to flip things around.
And everybody, if I squeeze to the two buttons across from each other, if I accidentally squeeze them together, then what happens is I call 911. So,
Oh, jeepers.
but
We
we're
don't
not
want to
going
do
to do
that.
that. Okay, so let's figure out where we're at, Chris.
All right.
That seems kind of loose. All right, we're going to get adjusted here, and well, look at that, how loose that
It
is.
is,
I don't know why
loosey-goosey.
it's like that, but... And so we've got the top of your... We've got your hand. We've got this right here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to
I'm
stay
going to grab
within
another
those
phone so I can watch messages.
perimeters. All right. So these
Oh, I
first
guess
two
I have it
cuts
with me.
are going. I don't know what I just did here.
Why do you
My-
have that on there?
Because I forgot my glue stand.
Oh, I'll get you one.
It's no big deal. All right. So the first two pieces we're going to cut are 8.5 by 7.5, which makes it really handy when you have an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So we don't even have to do this first cut. We're just going to turn it and cut it at 7.5, which is right here. And we'll do this twice. We'll save that one for stamping on. Not on this project, but when I go home. Again, 8.5 by 7.5.
Chris, I got you a glue stand.
Oh, thank you.
I assume you
You're
have
the
your
best.
precision glue press
Oh,
here.
yeah, thank you. I've been working in the kitchen so much lately, and I just leave my glue press in a wrought iron candle holder that I have on my kitchen
Oh, my
table.
gosh.
Yeah, it's a class act
It
at my house.
sounds fancy.
Sheesh. And then this one is going to be 8 5/8 by 7 5/8. So you're going to have to cut the other direction. You can't leave it this way because you're only at 8.5. So you're going to cut your 8 7/8 going this way. Did I say 7? 5, sorry. So there's your 5/8 mark.
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you doing this craft along today because I do think people are enjoying it, and
Well, good.
you're going to have people making boxes, that's for sure.
I hope so. That's the goal, is to just do something different. And then this way is going to be 7 5/8. So now we have our 3 pieces cut for the big one. Let's go ahead and make our big box, and then we'll get going on our small one afterwards, if you wish. All right, so you've got one piece that's just a little bit bigger than the other two. That one's your lid. So we're going to put that to the side for a minute, and we're first going to score our box. So I have this on the 8.5 inch side up at the top, and you're going to score it very easy. 2 score marks on this one. You're going to do 1/2 inch and 4 inches. And then you're going to turn it clockwise. So you've got your 7.5 inch side, and you're going to score it at 4 inches. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So just make sure you've got your 8.5 piece, you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch and 4 inches. Turn it, and so my 1/2 inch is down towards me, and you're going to score again at 4 inches. All right, set those to the side for a second, and now we have your 8 5/8, and you're going to score it at 1 and 2, and then you're going to do that on all 4 sides. All right, so and let me flip this over. Sometimes it's easier for you to see the score marks there, but you have scored on all 4 sides. You've got this big centerpiece, which is going to be the top of your box, and the sides. So that's as easy as it is. Now we're going to grab our scissors. And hopefully I'm not going too fast for anybody. I can slow down for a minute. I've got my 1/2 inch score line on the left. Because I'm right-handed, it's just easier for me. These boxes are slightly bigger. You want those on the top, because this is going to end up being the bottom of your box. So you're going to first cut this whole 1/2 inch up to the first score line away. We'll just get rid of it.
Chris, what was it that you were here and you last week and you made and you, oh, it was the lift and flip boxes.
Oh yeah, the little surprise.
Yes, and that was, it amazed me how you started with a rectangle and by the time you got all the pieces cut up, it looked totally different.
And then, so you're starting at the bottom and you're cutting up to that first score line, but you're keeping these pieces intact. You're not going to get rid of any of them. Go back to your side, your little 1/2 inch, and we're just going to cut a little tab so that when we put it together, everything lays a little nicer. And you can do the same with, I like to kind of get these out of the way.
Maybe get these out of the way underneath here,
Okay.
so that people can see better.
And then just, again, you're going to slightly cut up and make a tab here. I should have had a little more angle. I didn't. And because I left a little bit of the score line here, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to cut up it and make a tab. So it's going to go away. Sometimes it's hard to cut this way for me because I am trying to keep it in camera and get my angle right, but it doesn't really matter. Again, it's the bottom of my box. And
So-
if I have, go ahead.
So Chris, we have some questions.
Okay.
We're going to need to know, can you review your scoring again?
Yeah,
Is that
sure.
possible?
You bet. So on the 8.5 by 5.5, you score at a 1/2 inch. Maybe it'll help if I get this back out for
Yeah.
you.
So the 8.5 by 5.5,
5.5.
and you've got,
You've got your 8.5 up here.
Okay.
7.5 is what it is. 8.5 by 7.5. You score at 1/2 inch and 4 inches. And then you turn it so that your 1/2 inch score line is towards you.
bottom, okay.
And you score at 4 inches. And you're going to do that on both of your 8.5 by 7.5 pieces.
Okay, so you do that twice. Okay.
Correct. And then for this one that is 8 5/8 by 7 5/8, you score at 1 and 2, and you just keep flipping until you've done it on all 4 sides.
So does that make the lid?
This is going to make the lid.
Okay, so it makes sense if you think about it, everybody, because your box is the 1/2 inch and your lid is the 5/8, because your lid has to be a little bit bigger than your box.
Exactly. So now let's make the second part of your box look like the first. We're going to do the exact same cuts.
Yeah, so do this again and go really
Yep.
slow.
Okay. So my first cut is, I think it's probably easier if I just go ahead and, this is the bottom. So the top of the box pieces are slightly bigger than the bottom. And you can see that in person. You may not be able to see it as well on camera, but you can definitely see it in person. And if you keep your 1/2 inch score mark on the left, then automatically those are going to be on the
So
bottom.
your smaller section.
Yeah, especially if you've got the valley.
Okay.
So cut up both valleys to that score mark on both of them. And then you're going to get rid completely
get rid of that little
of
piece.
that 1/2
Okay.
inch piece, and you're going to make a little tab out of it. Do it on the other side. And then again, because this is going to be the bottom of your box and you want it to fit nicely, I just fold this up, get it out of the way, and then it makes it a little easier to cut a tab.
So then what you're saying is the piece you're cutting right now is going to become the bottom of your box.
Correct.
And then the piece on the right side will be the one or two of the sides, I guess.
The top is going to be my sides,
Okay.
and these, all 4 of these are going to be the bottom.
Oh, okay. All right. And we will have the measurements on the blog. We've already sent them to Janet, so we'll have the measurements and pictures and things on the blog.
Now, if you, maybe I won't decorate it, because I doubt if a lot of people are going to be decorating.
Probably not.
So I think I just won't bother decorating it. If you wanted to, this is a good time to go ahead and put your pieces on if you wish. Some people have a little more luck if they don't have to have it set up, but that's just me. Now I go ahead and I get a good burnish on all of my score marks. And what we're going to do, we've got the 2 pieces. I've got them both set the same, so my 1/2 inch score line is on the left on both pieces. Take some glue.
Okay, wait, stop.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure we can see it all really good. Okay, so you've got them. Sorry, everybody, but I'm remedial, so I've got to make sure that I understand this. Okay, so you've got them sitting exactly the same.
Exactly.
With this little tab facing the left.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, Chris,
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So now we're going to put glue on this tab here.
And you kind of folded it the other direction.
I did. I like to do it both ways.
Just to kind of loosen it up.
Yep. And I almost have to pick it up for this. Your main thing is make sure that these score lines are even so that when you put your box together, you have a good even fit. I think it looks like it's even.
Yeah,
If I were at
good.
home, I'd pick it up and put it up pretty close to my face. You just don't want to go over your score line.
I think whenever you're doing square things, you just have to be so careful with.
Yes, yep, if you want a nice even. All right, so now we're going to flip it over. You're going to take your tab and bend it back, and you're going to put glue on that. All right, now you're going to take the portion that has your tab,
Oh, this
and
is an aha.
you're just going to bend it over, and then if you got that first
my
one
gosh.
matched up, then you've got this matched up. Okay,
Love that, Chris.
thank you. All right,
There's
so
your
now-
box.
There's your
It's
box.
done.
Yeah, you can go home now. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and glue this down, and that's when you square up your box. It's kind of like if you're making a wall at home. Once you get your support in, you can square things up. So here's my...
I see. You guys, Chris is using her precision glue press, which I would think people might use score tape, but this seems so much easier to give you a little give.
It allows you to adjust the box. If you
Yeah.
used score tape, you wouldn't be able to do
Once
that.
you stick it, you stick it.
Yeah.
Chris, while you're gluing that, I want to report in because Sandy says the monarch butterflies fly to places by Mexico City.
Okay.
That her daughter and son-in-law went there. So you were right about the butterflies.
And then your last one, make sure you get it.
Kind of tuck things
Yeah,
in.
tuck things in, get it squared up. I flip it over, and because this is what I have,
Whatever you have, maybe it's a glass.
right, just to push on the bottom and get that secure in there. So now you have your box. Easy as that.
And Janet just posted the directions,
Okay,
your
great.
measurements.
Awesome.
And she will add to the blog. She'll add pictures and things. But if, Chris, a lot of people are anxious and excited. And they want to make these right away. So
Right. So hopefully
That
they're
will
making
take care
them
of
with
it.
us.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So now this is our lid. A lot of forget your traditional lid. We're going to cut it a little different. This is
we
what it's
are?
going to end up looking like.
Oh, cool.
To me, it's just easier to have that visual. So this is what we're going to do. We want to reinforce it, and that's why we have extra. So you're going to start on the long side, and you're going to cut up your score mark to, you're going to go 1, 2. So you're going to go to the second score line, so the 2-inch score line.
Oh, on both of them.
On both of them. Did I do that right? Kelly, you got me.
I have no idea, Chris.
Yes, I did. All right. So, and then what? I'm going to do this just so you can see. We take that whole one off. So the outside one comes off completely,
Okay.
and the next one you take off
Oh.
the bottom one. And you're going to go around and you're going to do that on the 4 sides. Now, the first time I did this, I was daydreaming and I messed up, so that's why.
See, Chris, you can mess up while you're figuring it
That's-
out, and then come to Memory Bound, and she's got it perfect.
That's right, darn it. I like to do the mess ups at home.
It's always
And-
better to have your mess ups ahead of
yeah,
time, right?
Exactly. And then you flip it all the way around, and you're going to do it on the other long side. So, again, you're just going to come up on both of those 1 and 2-inch score lines, and you're going up to the 2-inch score line. Take away the whole outside, so the one closest to you has to go away, as well as the bottom one.
I'm really curious, Chris, to see this come together.
And I'll show you it again when it's cut. I don't know why, but to me this just looks Aztec-y.
See, and I was thinking Art Deco.
Oh,
To me,
yeah,
it
there
kinda
you go,
looks Art
true.
Deco-y. So Aztec-y, Art Deco, whatever it is to you, right?
I like Art Deco better. All right, so now you're going to take this and you are going to tab each of these bottom ones. So go around the outside and tab them because you're going to want a nice fit. And as long as we're here, we could bend it down and do the same to these little tabs that you had left. Turn it and do the same thing all the way around. So all 4 sides are going to get a little tab. And it doesn't matter what order you do it in. Sometimes if I don't do it while I'm there, I forget. I've got that one. We're just gonna put this under so it's out of the way. Again, cut your little tabs. And then when I get done, I'll make sure everyone has their tabs cut and I'm not.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Going
We'll
too
give you a
fast.
minute to everybody cut their tabs.
I'll lay that there so you can kind of see what yours will look like.
All right, so we'll
All
see
right.
what people think about that. I think
Everybody,
it's good. I think it's
everybody's good.
I think we should just
Okay.
give everybody just a minute
Okay.
here. And then, Chris, earlier you mentioned about decorating the box, and so maybe kind of show this.
Yeah.
And you were talked about how it's kind of easier to put the paper on before you square it up.
Well, while it's laying down, the video I watched, which was from Craft Mix-Up, she decorated it while it was laying down. And hers ended up much straighter than mine did when I tried. But some people just do a better job. You know, you can see the lines better. I cannot. I've decided I need to get LASIK surgery so that I can see better.
That's a pretty big thing.
It is, but gosh darn it. So yeah, try it because she sure had hers lined up great. And she even did it here. She put her paper piece down. You don't want to do the outside ones because those are getting tucked under, but you can do the top and the
So
sides.
this is your top, and
Yep.
these become your sides,
Correct.
and the rest of it tucks under.
Tucks under.
It's
exactly.
kind of nice to kind of know where things are going, so
Yep.
that's awesome.
Okay, do you think everybody's
I think we should. I think we can move along.
All right, so I am going to get my
I didn't realize it
edges
tucked under.
burnished. Well, it really helps with putting that hole in there and getting the ribbon through, and that way you don't have near the chance of pulling your ribbon through once it's that way. So first we're going to do our tabs. Same as you usually do, put the glue on the good side of the tab, and I can only do one at a time, and then fold it up so that your edges come together. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just like you would a regular box. Get your edges
And
lined
you just
up.
held it a little
I
bit
just held
to-
it a little bit so that it would stick. But you're going to go around and you're going to do that to all 4 of those little 1-inch tabs that we made.
Chris, I think once you get the scoring and what to cut and what not to cut, the rest of it's downhill.
Oh
I
gosh,
think-
yes.
So
Yep.
once you guys, if you do that a couple times, you'll be making boxes in your sleep.
It's all, it's kind of like muscle memory. My granddaughters did competitive cheer for years, and once they got a, I don't want to say a trick, but a skill down, your muscles start remembering, and same with your brain. Once you do something a few times, it just becomes second nature for you. All right, so now your box should look, or your lid should look like a small box.
Or I was going to say, or you have a small flat box
That's
that
right.
you could use.
Exactly. Now, what you're going to do is take this outside flap, bend it back a little bit so you've got a good, and some of you are probably more talented than I am at holding things, but I only glue 2 at a time. So I'm going to put glue on the inside of that outer flap on 2 of them. And then just fold them over and hold them in place.
Chris, really, it would make a nice little box.
Yeah,
And you
yep.
could do one of, like the Tim Holtz vignette where you add a couple of his
Oh, sure.
new holiday release from Ideology.
Yes.
Put a couple woodland trees in there, maybe some salvaged deer. And it would make a very nice little vignette.
Well, with it being reinforced, I think it's sturdy enough that you could do that.
It is, for sure.
Like I said, I don't get my glue down as well if I do 2 at a time, so we're just going to be patient and hold it for a minute.
Well, and we want people to be able to do it too.
Yes. And then our last one. And if you see a spot that maybe you missed like I did, just stick a little glue under there. All right.
I've kind of got this thing
You
now,
got it
Chris.
down.
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking this would be a great little surface.
Well, you could
You
put
could even like go this way and make a
Sure.
little
Oh,
like
yeah.
stage. You know how
Oh,
we did
yes.
that last
Yep.
year with the trees?
Yep. We sure could. All right, so now this is done. But we're going to put we want something for our ribbon to
So
go through.
let's show what. Whoops! I just lost the ribbon.
All
So,
right.
can you? I don't know how this went on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's all
went
right.
up.
So the ribbon goes underneath, and then you go in through the back side of the box. So I'm trying to get a hold of it.
This is kind of what makes the box unique, and Chris is going to put it together here. And I took it apart, and maybe I shouldn't have, but
That's all right. I just need something to poke that through. So there's one, and then
it's kind of what. And you don't have to do the ribbon part,
no, nope.
but
It kind of makes
it makes you
unique.
look at it. You have to look at it a few times, and that's when I first saw it, Chris.
So there you go. I used 2 feet of ribbon on the big box and 1 foot on the small one. So we're going to
see
go.
see how the side is. The ribbon comes up from the bottom, and then it comes through this hole that Chris is going to show you how to make, and then you just tie it on top, and that's what makes this box unique, really.
Yeah,
it's a cool
yes.
size too.
Right, but yeah, I think the ribbon is what makes it special because otherwise, to me, it's a box. And nothing against boxes. All
Especially
right,
when you can make them yourself.
exactly. This box lid is 4.5 inches, which makes my math so easy. You're going to mark it at 2 1/4, and just put it wherever you think you want your hole that you're going to punch. Flip it over, do it on the other side. And then I always, mark once, check twice, because
Yeah.
it's a good idea. The Crop-A-Dial has 2 sizes. I used the small one for the small box, but I used this larger one.
So it depends on your ribbon, Chris.
Yeah, depends on if you're using twine or ribbon.
And the Crop-A-Dial is $40.99. It's a basic tool. It sets eyelets, which, we're kind of been doing a lot more eyelets, but it punches through multiple thicknesses at once. So you can punch through chipboard, multiple layers of, if you're making an album and you need to make holes for the book rings, you can do multiple papers at once.
Well, and how many young boys like license plates? You can punch through a license
Yes.
plate too, and then you could put those rings through them and they could hang them on their walls. The thing I like about this so much is once I set how far out I want it, then I know I'm going to have my holes the same distance on both sides,
You're so right.
as opposed to guessing, which I usually do. So now, I don't know if you can see this or not, Kelly. I need to come in a little bit for where my, so you just come inside, find that hole, and you would want to have your paper on it by now if you're going to decorate it.
yes, yeah.
And then you can just go around to the other side, do the same again. Sorry, I'm trying to see the
That's okay.
hole without,
I think we get the idea, and
Yep.
we see the hole that you punched.
Okay. And so now,
Did you bring ribbon?
I
Chris?
did.
Oh, you did. All right.
again, you just put it around the bottom. Whoops, I've got my jute too. And I cheat and I use my pencil wherever I put that. And I just, if I can't get it fed through, if I don't have a sharp enough edge cut, which is really what I should do, I just use my pencil and I push it through. Go around to the other
I
side.
think this is so cool, Chris.
Well, I know my kids are going to like getting little presents
Oh, sure.
in these. Although I think sometimes they would like me to stop because they have a tendency to keep everything I make. And now the lid does fit nice and snug, but you want it to. And just make sure your ribbon is nice and straight. I would not go any thicker than this 1/2 inch.
And you said 2 feet is what you
2
for the
feet is
ribbon?
what I used for the big one. And 1 foot for the small box.
And Stacy made a comment, Chris, that you could put eyelets in.
Oh,
these holes, and
yeah.
you absolutely could. And eyelets come in lots of colors, and you would use your Crop-A-Dile, and you could easily set your eyelets. So you'd be
Then I
ready
would
to
have to
go.
learn how to use my eyelet
It's not
setter on there.
hard.
That's what I hear. All right, so there you go. There is box number 1. Now,
Yes. Okay, now
Whoops.
here, let's just show them here.
and I,
So look at that. Isn't that just cool? There's the side. I'm doing the Vanna White
yeah,
thing.
there you go. Now, when you glue your lid, that's the time to play with it. You don't want to overlap your score lines on the lid because that's when your lid's going to be too tight for the box. So just make sure you don't overlap, and I'll show you that on the small one.
Okay.
What I mean by
All
that.
right. So that's
All
the
right.
larger size.
Yep.
And now we've got one more to do.
And I was just going to, you don't have to craft along. I have this one cut out. I just wanted to show people how to put it together. I can do the scoring if you wish.
And Chris, you have a question.
All right.
Donna's asking if you're using a thicker cardstock for the base.
I did not. This is just our
Our normal
Standard.
Basil 80-pound.
yes.
One thing though, Donna, about the base is you basically have 4 layers on the bottom here, right, Chris? Because
Correct.
your bottom was
Pretty
pretty
big,
full.
yes.
I mean, it was full size. That makes no sense, but I don't know how to describe it.
Well, sometimes you cut away a lot of the bottom to get away of the bulk, but I kept it so that if you wanted to put something heavy in there, like a mug, you could.
Yeah, you're right. Did you mention a coffee mug fits in these?
Well, yeah, that's what
I can't remember. I stepped away,
Nope,
so I
that's
don't
right.
know if I missed it.
The person that I saw make this was from the UK, and she said it holds their standard size coffee mug.
And a lot of people like to give coffee mugs for
Yeah.
the holidays, or teachers. Wouldn't that be fun to
It would-
give a teacher not just a coffee mug, but in one of these cool boxes?
It would be a lot of fun.
You could use school paper.
Now, I'm assuming that those are my, I assume wrong. Well, we're going to just go ahead and cut these.
So, Chris, can you show this first?
Yeah, of course. So this, even though the dimensions are half of what these were.
Oh, they
so,
are?
Yeah. The box, remember this was 8.5 by 7.5. This one we start with 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, and you end up with this.
That makes
Which,
sense. It doesn't make sense, but when we copy people's things and we shrink them half, they actually become a quarter.
A quarter, yeah.
Because it shrinks both directions.
Right, yep.
It's really cute though.
Well, and I thought this would be cute for Halloween,
Yeah.
putting in little treats or whatever. So that's why I did this one.
It still holds a lot of M&Ms, Chris.
It would, exactly. And this is what I used the 1 foot of jute for.
Okay, so that's 1 foot versus 2 feet.
Correct. All right. We're just going to grab some paper because I wasn't going to bother cutting it, but I don't know where my cut pieces went, so this will give you guys a chance to cut if
Isn't
you
that
wish.
frustrating when you have something and you can't find it?
Golly, story of my life lately. That's why I'm going to clean my craft room. And my craft room north that is a spare bedroom that nobody better want to stay in.
Yeah, Chris said her craft room expanded to another room.
Oh my goodness, it's bad. All right, so for this size, you need 2 pieces that measure 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. And I really think I can get one out of one sheet. So let's see how close we are. Well, I'm not going to be. It's going to take 2. Never mind.
Okay.
Forget what I said.
That's okay. We don't
so
care, Chris.
4 1/4.
It's just paper.
It's paper.
And most of us that are watching have a sheet or 2 of paper laying around.
Exactly. By 3 3/4. Those might have been right that I cut. So again, this is 4 1/4 already, so we're just going to go to 3 3/4. So there's my box. And then the lid is 5 3/8 by 4 7/8. So let's do our 5 3/8. There's 1, 2, 3. By 4 7/8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, look at that, Kelly. I did get it out of one piece.
Did you get it? Awesome.
I did. And those were the right sizes that I had over there.
We have a
That's
couple
okay.
of comments, Chris.
Okay.
Cindy said the new 49 in Market would be beautiful on this, and
Yes,
I
it
totally
would.
agree, because you could plan out your paper. Okay, I'm just going to grab this. I know we got to get going here, but you could plan out your paper. Here's a piece of the 49 in Market. I'm just interrupting.
Yes,
Sorry,
nope, that's
Chris.
fine.
You could plan out your paper so that when you cut it on your box, you could have, this on your side. Wouldn't that be
It'd
neat?
be beautiful. Yes.
And then you could use maybe some of this up here on your lid.
Yep.
So thank you for that comment, Cindy. We absolutely love it. And then we also have another question. Okay, this actually will be on our blog. So you can save all the dimensions. Chris has it all typed up nicely for us. And this will also, Janet has already posted this sheet, but it will be on our blog. So you don't have to memorize or write anything down. Maybe you're good at that, and that's wonderful. But so it will be available, and it will be available to watch later too.
All right. So for the small box, you're going to have it on the 4 1/4 side, and you are going to score at 1/4 inch, which is really small, but you can do it. And at 2 inches. And then you're going to turn it to the short side, or the 3 3/4 side, and you're going to score it at 2 inches. And then you're going to do that one more time. So 1/4 inch.
So is this for the base, Chris?
This is for the base
Okay.
of your box. This is for the box itself. So it was 1/4 and 2. And then you're going to turn it so that little 1/4 inch one is down towards you, and you're going to score it at 2. So we have that done. Now, I know the lid looks so much bigger than
And it
before,
should be,
but
right?
it should be, because we're going to reinforce it. So you have this on the 5 3/4 side, and you're going to score it all around. Well, it doesn't really matter where you start. You're going to score
5
it.
3/8, Chris? Or 5
Yes,
3/4?
thank you.
3/8?
5 and 3/8,
Okay.
and you're going to score it at 3/4 and 1 1/2. And you're going to do that on all the sides. So
Oh, it's coming back to me
3/4,
now.
1 1/2. I think it took me longer to figure out the dimensions for the small one because the big one she had made, and I had to come up with something
So you
smaller.
did your own, you figured out the dimensions?
So I did the
Chris!
dimensions for the small one.
Oh my gosh. You truly are the paper engineer.
Well,
So you had the dimensions for the larger box,
Yes,
and
yep.
then you figured out the dimensions.
yeah, so
for
I
the
figured
little
out what I
box. Oh,
needed
my
to do for
word.
the small one. But I just love the small guy. He's just cute.
It is, and I think it's just, I know you guys here, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. I know you can't feel this, but these are like solid
Yeah.
boxes.
Yep. You
and
can
they
get
even,
a lot in
they
there.
even make sounds when you drop them.
It's not quite as good as a magnet opening,
No,
but it's
it's
still
up
good.
there. It's right up there.
All right, so if you remember, we're going to, and this one's a little trickier just because it's smaller. It's hard to get fat fingers around it for me. So we're going to cut up to that,
I'm going to zoom in a little,
Okay.
Chris, while you do that.
we're going to cut up to the first score line on both the little tab and the bottom of your box. We're going to get rid of this, and I just go ahead and cut my tab while I get rid of it. Save some time. And then fold this out of the way so you don't cut it away.
That's always a good tip that you give us, Chris.
Well, it's almost like I've learned from my mistakes, Kelly.
Well, you've got it down. You've got a system going.
It just makes it easier. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Cut up. And if it's easier for you to see the backside, you should do that. At home, I might do that. Cut up to that score line. And then again, you're going to cut away this bottom 1/4 inch. Get that out of the way.
See, that's the, I just love that tip, how you just fold it back out of the way.
Well, you'd be really sad if you nicked it. And
I would be. So it looks like you got two just the same there,
Yep,
and they look just like your big ones.
exactly. Only
Only
cuter.
they're cute. Sorry, I don't know why. I
Nope,
moved
that's
that.
all right.
I just,
Because you're helping.
yeah, I'm a big helper.
And then go ahead and get your fold marks in there. If you need to burnish, really get them, then you should do that. I'm not that picky. So now we're going to go ahead and put glue on our 1/4 inch.
See, I think it makes more sense this time around, Chris, because we
seen
saw
it
it once,
Yep.
and now we're seeing it. You're doing it again. It's like, oh yeah. So
And then just go up to your score line. Don't go past it. And again, the most important part is getting this score line of your bottom of your box matched up. Okay? And then give a good push down on it. You do want it even top to bottom though, so that your lid fits well. Flip it over. Take your little 1/4 inch tab, fold it backwards, put some glue on that.
And you've done
And-
this step with your other boxes before. And
Yeah.
it always makes me happy. I don't know why, but I just think it's kind of cool.
Well, it just kind of makes sense with it. And then just push that up to the side as much as you can if it's off a little bit. I did something that I got off, don't know. I'm making a mess.
Happens.
Kelly's
No,
picking
you're
up
not.
for me. All right, so now, again, turn this upside down so that you've got your bottom flaps up in the air. we're going to glue this a little faster because you've been through it before. So put the glue on the bottom. Flip that over, glue that bottom, or the top of it. Put one down, and this is when you want to start squaring things up. You could see where I was off, so I just am able to push it into place. Put your glue on there. And then you're going to, again, put this down, flip it over, make sure that you're square. I'm going to do something silly and open up my scissors and try not to hurt myself. Whoops. But just, push that down, work the glue in is basically what I'm having you do. And then you can flip it over again and see that we're pretty squared up there.
Yep, and it's very solid. That's
Yep.
what I think is amazing about these boxes.
All right, so now we're going to go back to our lid. And I'm glad we're doing this twice because to me this is the trickier part. So we've got the long end towards you again. You're going to cut up that first score line and you're going to go up to the second score line. Go to your second score line, again, cut up to the second score line. Remove this whole outer one, and then you're left with this whole one that's kind of floppy. You're going to take away that bottom one, and you're going to do that on 4 sides. Now, you don't want to do the short side. You only want to do the long sides. So we're taking, I'll put it down again so you can see when I'm done. Okay, so that first side is cut away. And then we're going to flip it 180 degrees. And you're going to go up to that second score line on the, and then again up, second score line. Take away that whole outside piece. So you're taking away 2 little squares. And then you're going to take away the bottom square. So you're, of those 4 squares, you're just left with 1 square.
And you get an Art Deco looking piece.
That's right. Something from the 1940s movies that I watch all the time. So take away those 2 outside squares. Take away the bottom square. Again, of the 4 squares, you're left with 1. Now we're going to go around and we're going to make our little tabs. So the bottom 3/4 inch,
You never know, do you?
just like you did with the big one, you're going to go all the way around. Fold that underneath if you need to get it out of the way so that you don't accidentally cut anything. And it's also a good time that I look and go, oh, I left a little score line here. I'm going to get rid of that. I hope that some of you are crafting along and doing this small box because I think the repetitive nature of it helps. And then you really feel secure and positive when you go to do it. So we're going to flip this under so that I have those 2
I would love that.
little 3/4 inch squares. So now we just have the end piece that we're going to cut. And let me lay that down for you so you can see
Let me get in
how
close.
that's supposed to look. All right, is it making sense again? I
I
hope.
think so. We don't
All
have any
right.
questions.
Good. All right, hopefully that doesn't mean they went away. All right, so now we're going to go ahead glue those tabs in like we would a regular box again. Make sure you have a good burnish. It just makes it easier. And glue, I call it the pretty side of your paper when you make your box, because you want that inside glued. And this time, I'm just going to go right up to the score mark. I think I went over a little bit before, and that's never a good spot to be.
Probably, Chris, when you give these to people, they're not going to say, "Oh, I think you might have glued your box.
My lid
You
too
went
tight.
went a little past the score mark.
Hopefully
You
not.
can do a better job next time."
Yes, here's the box back. It was past the score mark. Well, and the reason I mention it is so that people are mindful of it and a little careful not to do that. You know, your tendency is, oh, I don't want that to be showing. But in order for your lid to fit right, sometimes you have to have that little bit.
Well, Chris, the other thing that makes, I mean, the box is pretty sturdy when you get it put together.
Mm-hmm.
I think because you got several layers on the bottom, and you also reinforce your lid. But then when you put paper on it and decorate it, that just gives you a whole nother layer of sturdiness.
Definitely. And the big box was done with 49 and Market, and
I
that's
was
a
just
heavy.
going to ask you
yeah,
what you used on it.
yeah. So that's a nice heavy.
So this is the 49 and Market Evergreen Season. But you know what? We also have Christmas Spectacular in stock. So if you wanted some of that, we have that available too.
And then again, we're doing our reinforcing part. So I'm gluing and holding.
Well, Chris, I think we appreciate you getting all the measurements down in a document for us so we can make these ourselves.
Oh, you're welcome.
And they're perfect for Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Wouldn't a little box like this be cute sitting? Maybe not a Halloween one, but
Right,
maybe
but using
some even birdsong or
Oh, yeah.
terracotta
Ooh, yeah.
or one of our other collections.
we have a lot that are very fall-y and put you in the mood to go to the apple orchard or
Well, speaking of Katie Petit, you could use Vintage Orchard. Speaking of that
Yeah,
and the
speaking
apple
of,
orchard,
all
that
right.
would be really fun.
So now we have our lid
Oh my gosh, we have a box.
for this little guy, and we will.
Are you measuring, Chris?
I'm gonna have to measure because I don't know what this is. We'll find out together. So I line it up like this, and I meant to write it down what I did. This is about 2 1/4, which would be 1 and 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 would be 2 1/2. So yeah, right at 1 1/8. Might be a little over 1 1/4. We're gonna go to 1 and be 3/16, and we're gonna see how we like it. All right. Now I'm going to use, because I'm going to use jute for this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the smaller hole. I'm going to move that up. I'm going to move it up a little bit more. Oops. Keep playing with it. All right, so now I can see my dot there. Just going to put in my All right.
It's
Now,
looking good, Chris.
I've got my little piece of jute. I'm going to go ahead and put it through here first while it's not attached to the box because it's just a little easier. Do it on the other side. And here, I can closer. And then if you hold it like that, you can get your box inside of there.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Well, it's just what is it? Something of necessity is the mother of invention. And then, like I said, I did a foot, and I think it's plenty. You might want it a little bigger so
Maybe
you can
go-
have a bigger bow.
I think I would go bigger just to make it easier to tie.
Yeah, yep,
Especially if people are retying it and stuff.
exactly. But there you go. Once again, you have
All right, I'm going
Your
to
little
take this
box.
out, Chris. Chris has worked really hard today. And our camera's warm, so I know
Uh-oh.
you've worked hard. So let's look at the boxes that we made. Let me get out of this. So there's the two sizes. Oh, Chris, those are so cute.
Thank you.
And I wish that you were here and you could see them in person because they do feel heavy. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yep.
They do feel very solid with all that reinforcement.
Yeah, I wish they could fill them. And I will leave the decorated ones here.
Okay,
And that
so
way
if you're local, stop
yeah,
in.
Yep.
And we've got the dimensions and we'll post pictures. And the dimensions are already on our blog. We'll send Janet some photos. And Chris just made them with regular 80-pound cardstock.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you could probably make them with heavier, but look
Sure.
at that little cutie right there.
I know. I just think he's adorable. Oh my gosh. Maybe you'd want to do it smaller. But I
Smaller
was
than
just
that?
thinking putting your child's first tooth in there and keeping it.
Oh, yes.
Or doing one as a tooth fairy box.
Yes, that would be really cute too.
We did a jar or glass of water on the kitchen table.
Well, I never knew about the water thing, and then I did hear about that. So we started doing that with our daughter, but our first son, we didn't know about that.
Oh,
And Sharon has her large one mostly made.
nice.
So we love to
Yay.
hear that it worked out for everybody. And sometimes second time works better.
Exactly.
So if
Yep.
if it didn't work, then do it again. It's just paper, and it's just something fun to try and to work on and learn how to do something new. And Chris, a huge, huge thank you to
Oh,
you
you're
for
welcome.
doing this and actually figuring out the dimensions. That's why we call you our paper engineer.
Which makes me laugh every time.
But it's true. It's true. I'm not
I-
the only one that said that.
I loved personal accounting in school,
Well, there you go.
but my husband and kids are all the ones that look at a math problem and it floats in front of their eyes and they come up with the answer. Not so much for me.
No, because you're busy doing other things.
That's right, darn it.
So, well, thanks
Alrighty.
everyone for joining us today, and thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
And we're going to be back tomorrow at 9:30 right here, same station, and we'll see you then. Have a crafty day, and be sure and check out that new collection, the two new collections
Yes.
from Katie Petite and 49 Market.
Leave me some, though.
Yeah, Chris is just chomping at the whatever it
chomping
is
at the bit to
to
shop.
get over there and check it out. So
That's right.
Have a good one, everyone, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.